Felicitations, my family of fletchlings. And ghosts, it's so good to unsee you as well. My name is Damien Hallmay, your ghost host with the most, and professional disruptor of the status quo. What does that mean? You say that's a lot of words and I don't understand it all. It means that I exist to break your mindset, your regularity, your pre-programmed ideas, your innate desires to just vegetate and decompress from a bad day, and try to promote some critical thinking, research, holding yourself accountable to the ideas that you hold. Try to break your hypocrisies. Try to understand the other side a little bit better. Maybe not agree with them. We're not about agreeing with people here. But we are about understanding the other side's motivations so that while we won't go there ourselves, we at least get it. If that makes sense. Yeah. We also... First champion. Hello. Welcome. You get 2 intros. Because Kit's just that awesome. In fact, I will go so far as to give you 3, because we'll also shout out Kit's We So Punny channel.
Oh yeah, Kit, if you get an email from me about cooked meat, don't open it.
Excuse me.
Okay.
It's spam.
I get it.
Okie dokie.
It's spam. Cute.
Yeah, that totally didn't register at first.
A rose to a Troa.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a good dad joke. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I do. As a matter of fact, I appreciate it. It's just that my brain was like, you know what? We're going to make you stupid this time.
It was a reasonably good dad joke. It's a jacket. Hi, welcome. Accountability, who needs that? I know, right? Who does that? Who does accountability these days? I think it might be the first time ever I have been first. I would agree. Your time zone versus mine tends to put you at a bit of a disadvantage. So no one's going to blame you. Did someone mention a hypocrite? Not my style usually, but I'd be open to learning if I'm wrong there. The world does not need more hypocrites, Troa. I know it sounds like a fun thing to try. And believe me, it's fun to cosplay as one. But the world probably does better without them. Or without another one, at least. Can't stop the ones that exist already, probably. Let's also do a shout out for Sketchy. Because when I say jacket, by the way, I mean Sketchy. For those of you that don't know, is a person with multiple names. So,
well, out of back, it was in fucking Cold War.
What the fuck was that emote from? South London?
It's a cool emote. Welcome on in, everyone. Not only am I very late to my own stream, but I'm also tired and stressed. And I didn't shower or wash my hair, so my hair is stringy today. And I got a skin thing going on. This happens when my skin decides that it doesn't like what I've been eating. I'm pretty sure. So I've got these marks that happen usually around my T-zone. Everybody knows what a T-zone is, right? Yeah, a T-zone that crosses above your eyebrows, maybe into your eyebrows for some people, and then down your nose. It's a T. And it's a different skin than the rest of your skin. And the skin in my T-zone hates if I deviate from a very perfect diet. And I do sometimes. So that sucks. Well, hello, Stuart. I make them with a lot of agonizing... excuse me? I make them with a lot of agonizing over them? Can you... Oh, are you talking about the prompt? I think you're talking about the prompt. What kind of difficult decisions? Any. Moral, life, financial, you name it. I'm curious what you do. What's your secret? I have some big decisions coming at the beginning of next year, and so I want to hear your strategies. Honestly, dude, I don't think anyone would have been bothered if you took the night off. I took the night off last Wednesday, so I already feel like I've missed a lot of this summer. The kiddos' schedule has been kind of garbo, and then we started school, and we thought it was going to get immediately better, but it's been kind of rocky this first week of school, and so I can't say... Hang on, there's also a game happening in the background. I'm just gonna shift scenes because I queued for this before I even started the stream, and I want people to at least be able to see what I'm doing in the background, because there's going to be noises, and I want the noises and the I don't know, I want noises and visual to match, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we thought the schedule might sort of work itself out like the moment they started school, and it kind of didn't. So we've been not more, but like still, unfortunately, kind of still sleep deprived. And there's still been issues with getting everything set up properly. So it's not an immediate fix to especially my sleep deprivation woes. And in that regard, like, while I'm not doing great, I also don't want to just quit or not quit, cancel like every single stream that I don't feel good. Because if I canceled every time I feel like, oh, I'm not sure if I'm going to be ready to stream, or I just don't know how well I feel about all of this. Like, am I going to be able to do this? I'm just not sure, you guys. If I did that every single time, I'm a doubter. And so I feel like I would cancel maybe half my streams if I just let my heart be my guide. That's too many cancellations. I know you probably all feel like I should follow my heart more and take care of myself more. I am in the process of doing that. I can share with you some of my scheduling woes and the issues that I'm experiencing as far as that goes, like why it's a tricky thing to try to figure out exactly like what I'm going to do with streaming during the school year, how to work this all out with Oz, how to work it out with the kiddos. And just, you know, I am trying to prioritize for the first time in probably 6 years more of my health than I have in the past. And that's not to say that that I'm 100% going to just be going forward getting 8 hours of sleep a night, but at least doing better. I can at least shoot for better. But there's a lot at stake when we're talking about that. There are a lot of things that while it's in my interest to be healthy, it's not always feasible. not at my level of desire to do so much more than what I'm currently doing, right? The big thing is I don't want to be a wage slave in the industry that I ended up in for much longer. And some of you know some of my exit strategies that I have in place right now. Some of you have no idea, but I can tell you there's a lot that goes into trying to switch careers when one that you're currently in, while not fun, is taking care of everything. It is managing the entire lifestyle and opportunities and everything that we desire for the littles. That makes it rough to make other choices for ourselves, to do something different, to pivot. Pivoting also requires some sort of runway. It's really hard to quit a job that's taking care of everything for you and just take on risk to say, hey, we're going to do something different that we're not quite sure if it's going to generate the same kind of engagement of revenue for the household. So, you know, your littles might have issues eating or wearing new clothes or affording school supplies. We can't take that kind of risk. We don't want the kids to have the adverse experiences that Oz and I had when we were growing up, which were revolving around missed opportunities, things that we could not, that we wanted, but our parents couldn't afford. That kind of thing. I'll catch up a chat here. I'm in a relatively benign part of the fight. Where did we leave off? I was curious if you're... Uh-oh, I think I got hit by that one. Did I? No? Oh, I did. I did. That's bad. That's probably bad. I was curious if your shout-out clips would show up over an intro. It does. Very appropriate. I try my best to make things prioritize the way I would want them to, even if that's not necessarily what everybody else desires. I try to do what I think is most right, if that makes sense. Oh, hey. This is one I wanted to stand right on. Ask me about a topic and I'll tell you how I've managed decisions. It's a huge topic, so it's not one I can just conjure a relevant anecdote for. Well, ask the one that prompted me to raise the... Wait, how did I die? To raise the question in the first place, which is how do you choose when it's time to quit your job and do something else with your life? Uh-oh. Please somebody kill this thing. Oh, good. I was healed. I think it's going to die before I can even get one spell cast off. Sure enough. It's not... Oh, I was like, oh god, it's still not dead. I quit casting and I was just going to run to the exit, and then I realized the exit wasn't ready for me. In regards to making difficult decisions, I ask myself two questions. The first is, do I reasonably have a choice? Yeah, that's a good one. Sometimes you really are railroaded in, right? You don't really have the choice that you wish you did or that you think you do. Example, I'm really going to take out this... Oh, am I really going to take out this loan for a mercenary interest rate so my kid can get surgery? Oof. Well, yeah, duh. Because it's surgery, yeah. As brutal as the loan may look, there's really little you can do when it comes to doing the right thing by your littles, right? I don't feel like there's a reasonable choice there. Yeah, 100%. Trying to think of something difficult that's been more recent. So when we moved up here, it was a bit scary, but it was for a job that would finally give us a livable income and get us out of poverty. We were under the poverty line, but my grandma would always make sure we lived comfortably. It's very sweet. So that income makes the move worth it. Got new norms, made new friends, and we were able to get a house. That's huge, and one of the reasons why we moved as well is getting out of the poverty line and being able to have opportunities here that we wouldn't have had elsewhere. There are certain things that we could only do if we got out of California, unfortunately. Second, how is the problem and our proposed solution going to affect us in the future? How do things look on a week, month, year? Yeah. For my personal situation, the reason why I asked the prompt that gets a little bit sticky to understand or know. There are a lot of moving parts. There are a lot of things that I cannot predict because they're in other people's courts. And I really hate that. Being as ancient as I am, I really hate the feeling like part of my life is in somebody else's hands, or the decision is up to somebody else. I like having full control. And, you know, I think one, making a family makes that kind of impossible. And two, it's just, we can't always be the arbiters of every little bit of our lives, unfortunately. It's just a myth on being an adult. Well, when you're adult, you get to decide your own rules. You know, you choose what clothes you wear when, and how you, you know, when you go out to do this and buy that, and what you eat and when you sleep and all that sort of stuff. It's entirely up to you. It's not. It really is not. There's so many things that you wish would be up to you, and they just aren't. Another toughie was transferring job sites. I'm with the same school. Oh, shit. I need to pay some attention. Wait, oh. I think it was a look away spell, and I did not do the look away. Now I'm in trouble. Somebody heal me. Give me a heal. They're going to cast big things on me. Okay. Transfer. Oh, we're fighting that thing first? Okay, if you insist. Transfer job sites. I'm with the same school, but switched to a site farther away to teach English instead of independent study. Okay. It was so hard to leave my students. Although, I mean, you always have to leave your students, though, right? In some regard, you will never be able to keep any set of students because they will always move on past you, is my understanding of being a teacher. I need mana. The people I worked with are even still like my family. I guess that makes sense. Your coworkers or something that, regardless of where your students are or are not, you do forge a family with the people that you work with. Leaving that site was the hardest decision I've made in recent years, but my new location now feels like family too. Love that. And I get a lot of freedom with my curriculum. That's really cool. Having freedom at your workplace is amazing. And I took it for... No, I won't say took it for granted. It's not to say that I don't have it now and it was my fault because I took it for granted. But more like I thought it was something I would have going forward, starting with my last job. And that's just not so much the case. It felt like it would be a forever thing. Oh, touch the thing. Oh, I didn't touch the thing. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. I'm gonna die right now. Yep, that's how that happens. Hardest, but also the best choice I could make at the time. Yeah, you have to break away from all the ties and society, basically, that you made, but you had to do it in order to advance. And I am super happy and fulfilled right now, even though it was scary at first and took longer to adjust than anticipated. That's very inspiring for me, for where I am right now. I am going to release. I don't want to be resurrected, because if I res, I get a minute of res sickness, and that will really screw over the next fights when I can just teleport in with no res sickness. I think it just comes to risk and opportunity. Yeah. For me, I'm really risk adversive. I'm very nervous. I always get scared when there is risk. So far, most of my life, I've taken very minimal risks. I'm really bad at RNG. I choose poorly. I have a broken picker in a lot of different ways, and so I generally just don't try to take on anything that would involve discernment of risk versus reward, because I've seen my own track record and it's awful. But is it gonna move me into the space or not? There we go. We're B, so we stay in the middle. It's gonna hurt. True, I'm leaving the students, but I get them 9 through 12. Oh, until they graduate. Oh, so yeah, that is quite a personal and long relationship that you end up developing. True. It's so much more personal and wholesome. Yeah. This could be a lore dump if you'd like. I can come on mic for this one if you prefer. Yeah, if you want to share a full lore linked situation, let's make it happen. I'm gonna pop into my main chat and lower game volume a little bit. You're welcome to join in. Yeah, I like everybody's shares so far. Nobody so far has said that they consult their tarot deck or just ask a wise friend for information. In other words, you don't outsource your wisdom. You're getting it straight from your heart, your core. I need ice. There we go. This fight's not too hard, but I don't always remember the gimmicks. Yeah, I find when risk versus reward comes up, when difficult decisions are made, are to be made, that I often choose the worst path. So maybe for me, the best thing I can do is share my ideas with other people and say, hey, here's what I've been thinking. Is this stupid? Like, how bad is this? How risky am I making this out to be? And what could we be doing instead? Or how do we mitigate the risk best? I'm also not one that necessarily makes the risky choice, though, in the first place. So for me to say, like, I make bad decisions, but I also make a lot of decisions to just not engage. In other words, the worst decision I make is the decision to not engage and just miss lots of opportunities, because I don't like when my worst fears come true because of a decision I've made. If that makes sense. Is this thing gonna die? Why does it look like it has so much more health? Oh, I think I'm fighting the main thing. Oh, the ad still had health. And then we have to fight this guy. Look away. We will not be toaded today. I don't think that look at me spell was a toad spell, but nevertheless. Yeah, Tro, if you would like to be on voice, I have joined my main channel. I forget. Square, when it changes to square. Anything? No. Just do not stand where the tank is standing. Because, oh, that was 2 of those glowing orbs at the same time. Well, that hurt. That was a gimmick. I completely forgot. Yeah, for those of you that haven't been in the loop or have missed a couple streams lately, I've been under a more stressful... Oh, that guy just jumped off. Thanks. I mean, that's one less spell that's going to be cast on the level, but we also just lost a healer as a result. Yeah, I've been under a lot of stress. I've gotten audio to headphones to avoid echo. It's been a while. Bear with me. No worries. I'm here for a while. My current day job has granted me a lot of autonomy, and I've been able to work on projects alone for some time. And I think maybe just the being able to work alone and not have much oversight and not have people hold me accountable to the standards of communication and whatnot in the company has pissed somebody off in the higher ups. That, or the company as a whole might be looking to try to cut costs, and for my impact and what I do, maybe I'm expensive and they could replace me with somebody less senior that has less experience that might still have a good amount of impact, or that they feel that they can automate my job out. So I've never been laid off in a company before, but this company somewhat smells like it's layoff season. I've had both conversations about my performance and things that I've missed in my goals and how I need to be held more accountable to the ways that I've missed, and making action plans and daily check-ins for all the different records of things that I should have updating on a regular schedule, so that people above me understand what it is I'm doing and how I'm proving my worth on a regular basis to the company. And at the same time, I'm also hearing conversations like, we're going to reassess what we're doing with this platform because budget season is imminent, and we're thinking right now about all of our different outlying, all that sort of thing. I forget the word. Hi, Jay. I don't know why I can't see your chat. Well, I think I do know why. Instagram just sucks, and I gotta... Oh, shit. Somebody's pulling that right over me. I have it pulled up on the side, and I thought I had it also in the main chat, and I did not. I know what I have to do. Oh, shit. I'm gonna get attacked right now by chasing AoEs. Run. Run, Forrest, run. I'll catch up to what you've said, Jay, here in a second. We're at the final boss, so... but yeah, the kind of big thing is that it looks kind of like they are ready to start doing layoffs, and they're asking me to prove my worth. And I don't know how well I'm going to do with that, so we're just going to wait and see. But I'm trying to develop out other strategies for things that I can do to, you know, keep my family safe and financially supported, if that ends up being the case, that's what's going to happen to this household. Got to do what you got to do. Jay on Instagram, because Instagram's chat's just not feeding the way it's supposed to right now. Said, got to go with your gut. True. I suppose that's a reasonably good pathway, but I've followed my gut and made some really bad decisions in my life, and that's what makes me nervous. Oof. Those... might die. Oh, I didn't die.
He's not a solid. He's definitely not a gas.
It's a weehaw.
He's a liquid. It can't be. Don't tell me. Damn it. It all makes sense now. His
Hello,
references
I
to
can hear you just
consumable
fine.
beverage safety tips. His liquidity. The drink.
Sorry, catching up on alerts and whatnot. Let me read out Jay's chats that he sent in Instagram that I didn't see until just now. And then I'd love to hear your lore dump. Control is illusionary. Touch the thing? Wait, touch what thing? You're a big risk taker. It's very admirable. You think I'm a big risk taker? I don't know that I am. I feel like I've only ever made bad decisions. You're always on the path meant for you. I don't know that I am. I've definitely made some paths that I've had to pull back away from and reassess where I went wrong or reevaluate myself and start over again. So I don't know if I agree with you. Anyway, please everybody welcome Troa to the voice chat, who's here with a lore dump on decision making, if you would be so kind. Rose. I'm yeah, a very valid reason to do so. Oh, hang on one second. We can't hear you. Let me just make sure that I get audio working. Thank you, everybody, for... Or, yeah. Let's see. Output. Why do we not hear a Troa? Say something?
So how far back do you want me to go into this? I can do just recent, or I could do like the move from Utah. How much info do you want, really?
Let's go back to Utah. Let's hear as much lore as you're willing to share. I know that really takes you back quite a ways, so that might be a lot, but
Not a problem. I just don't want to take over the whole like show.
no, you're
Right.
fine. You're fine.
So, am I audible?
Yes, everybody
Hello?
can hear you now.
Hi, Kit. Everybody. This is Troa. I don't usually talk here. But, so let's say, in the year 2020, I had 2 strokes in March. One was towards the beginning of March, and the other one was about 2 weeks after. I still have a stutter a little bit. I think it's actually coming out a little bit now, and that's fine. But it was way worse before. And I had a lot of medical stuff done that was done here and there in between with my job. At the time, I was working with Visa,
Mhm.
and I worked in their technology group with APIs, with being able to go through and set up paying with a credit card to this communication company that would move the information between the banks so that the authorization code essentially that you need to move money from A to B was moved and done securely and all that jazz.
Yeah.
It was a fun job, and a lot of it was done over the phone initially. Moved to chat and doing the digital aspect and some of the coding that was going into websites. It was really a very intriguing position, but that's also when I had to start working from home primarily.
Mhm.
And a lot of my biggest issues are I can't really work on site because a 9 to 5 type job, in the very beginning of the day, you have the sunlight coming in from both angles, and it's overwhelming, and it causes me to have blackouts. So the first half of the day, I can't really work. Then the middle of the day, I'm perfectly fine, and I'm 100% on board. And then later, as the sun starts to set, it's the opposite end of the spectrum where the light is just at that angle, and then there's all these blackouts. And the lighting thing, it took me forever to figure out that it was just lighting. It wasn't food. It wasn't anything along those lines.
Yeah, given how little that usually
Yeah.
affects most people, I mean, unless it's like strobing light or something,
Yeah.
I can imagine that that would stay a blind spot for you for a long time in your attempts to figure out, well, what the heck is going on with you.
So we were able to go through and set up things like schedule accommodations where I would work before the sun came up, and then a little bit during the middle of the day when I was really in my bright and sunshiny stages, right?
Hmm.
And that really didn't stretch out quite out eh, quite out as well. So I was put on full on FMLA and wasn't allowed to work. And thankfully that was done before I went completely nuts. Because after those strokes, I do not remember the year 2020 like at all.
When you say
And
completely nuts, is it just like you had poor memory, or what do you mean by that term?
I lost language skills. So I wasn't able to read. I wasn't able to speak. I wasn't able to interact aside from like kind of gestures and motions.
Wow.
I sat inside of my own home. I was able to feed myself. I was able to cook. But I could not communicate in any way, shape, or form.
How long did that last?
Aside, that lasted months. Again, I don't really remember most of this.
Mhm.
So keep in mind, this is all going off of tertiary stories, what my family's told me it was like, things along those lines. So there was a lot of pointing and going over to a computer and kind of pointing at the screen until I clicked at things because I couldn't figure out how to use a keyboard or mouse. It was bizarre. And that's the way that it's been described. When I actually came more to myself and started kind of piecing things together, I start remembering little flashes of very similar things to what they're talking about, so I believe it wholeheartedly. But around that time frame was when I started kind of rebuilding myself, and I used a lot of history that I have, excuse me, hiccups.
No problem.
Okay, not hiccup. Perfect. Anyhow, I used a lot of the old speech and debate training that I did in high school. I even went to camps and all of that stuff for it to kind of retrain myself how to communicate and how to be able to relate concepts,
Mm.
especially in short form or off the cuff.
So formalized
So,
training in speech helped you gain back some of that.
yeah, I did that all through high school. That was one of the big things that I was best at. So, thankfully, it was something that gave back to me at a later date. Anyhow, once I came back out, they moved me over because of the stutter that was still present. They moved me over to chat-based communication,
Mm.
and I excelled because typing away was no longer a problem. I could read, all of that was perfectly fine. It was just setting the words together and actually being able to communicate the same way that I used to.
Yeah.
All of that eventually worked out, and I found out that um, I was a citizen in Canada. And given the fact that my health had just done a nosedive and how much I had to go through and pay because I had had a really high deductible and all that stuff because I'd never had a medical problem before.
Yeah.
My strokes were the first medical problem that I had had ever, aside from just getting like hit by a car, and that happens every once in a while. I mean, come on. Well, unless you're me for a few years, but again, different story going even further back. Nonetheless, all of that prompted me to think, okay, I'm gonna move up to Washington because they have more socialized medical care, and it's also going to put me pretty close to Canada. And since I am a citizen, I should be able to go through and do things like at least prescriptions, because those get really expensive,
Oh yeah.
even at the most base level. And that was part of the reason why I moved up here. The city I chose specifically was because I had friends and um, long-standing acquaintances from the rave scene and all of that jazz that we danced together and sang together and kind of soul brother kind of friends here.
Yeah.
And came up, and I was allowed to move up here because I was selected for a promotion that was supposed to be a whole new position that was being created. And I thought that I was actually going to have to leave because I was losing communication skills, but instead, the reality of it was I got kind of shifted up in this direction. So that would be the first little lore dump. The second little lore dump is going to be the most recent one, the one where I actually lost my job, and a little bit of a comparison contrast. The first one I'd like to go through and point out all of the actions that were taken to kind of move me from one space to another to help me while I was kind of in between spaces and while I was not communicating up to the same par or up to the same level that I normally am. That was good. Bad is what I'm about to go through, so bear with me a sec. I need to grab a glass of water. I
Sure.
talk a lot.
No problem. While you are hydrating, I will catch up with the little bit of chat that's come up since then. Risa says, agree and disagree. Of it sounds like they might be doing layoffs and you're on the docket. Elsewhere may be better, but having time to do projects is how entrepreneurship happens. Yes, intrapreneurship happens. I misread that. Interesting. I don't know what that term means. Can you elucidate to me? It's how new inventions come to be. Hello and welcome, Sam. But if you have to be given the time, but you have to be given the time and resources for it, which I'm definitely not right now. I'm being overemployed with the workload that they're trying to foist upon me right now in an attempt to prove to them that I'm worth the amount that they're paying me. If they're taking that away, then that's a big deal. Yeah, I don't have the time I used to have for projects. Like in May, you might have seen I was able to put out a whole bunch of short videos on all of my socials, and I have not been able to continue that because of what happened with my day job. It's been, yeah, a little bit brutal. They hit the Pentagon. Hi, Munish. Who hit the Pentagon? Is this new news? Like something that's happening like right now? Their attitude change is so strange. I seem to recall you talking about them being generally happy with your performance not too long ago. Yeah, as recent as April, I was fine. And then in June, like just what? Yeah, I don't really know about May. But in June, things got weird. And I started being put on blast for things that I was not personally directly responsible for. And things I could immediately refute. And despite me being able to refute the majority of claims made against me, they still put me on a probation and like daily check-in cadence and all that sort of stuff that just feels wrong. In addition to them saying, oh, we need to, you know, reevaluate budgeting and all that sort of stuff. It feels like a lot of confluence of bad events altogether. Even expressing interest in giving you more responsibilities. Well, they're definitely still giving me more responsibilities, but now I feel like it's kind of like, let's see how many things we can put upon D and see if he fails, we can use that as a guiding post for, well, he's failing at all the responsibilities we want to foist upon him, and therefore he's not fit for his role, sort of thing. It's kind of what it feels like. My school does these attendance things called workforce openers, which are questions that help get students ready for jobs. That's pretty cool. One was about the difference between... Thank you, Weehaw. One was about the difference between entrepreneurship and intrapreneurship. The intra is like the creator of the business. The intra is someone who can work on their own innovations, but are given resources like time or money under the business owner to develop these things. Interesting. I think I understand. Yeah. It's like you're being what's the word I'm looking for? Internally developed to help the business out. So you are sort of your own business startup, but you don't. Oh shit! 3 of us just died. This might be a wipe if this guy doesn't make it. But you don't have like your own starting capital. You don't have your own business structure. You're living inside of somebody else's to make all of these changes happen. That's what it sounds like. I've never heard of this term, but I definitely see it possible, just rare, because I don't see many people willing to put their necks out for somebody else's creative vision. Sounds like you're the entrepreneur. No, the things I'm developing do not benefit my current day job in any way, shape, or form. I'm not doing stuff to help them out. If I have spare time, I do stuff to help me out. Yeah, I'm much more in limbo.
Rejoin the conversation since we've caught up with chat. The precursor was going to be what I did as far as my difficult decision when I was considering, okay, do I actually have to go on full on disability, or do I continue actually working inside of the workforce? And at that point, I was actually shown by my work that they were willing to find a way to make it work. And around that same time frame that I moved up here, it was also one of the visa rules, which is the primary job that I had at the time, that I had to be close enough to be on site, and that was in Utah. So they ended up selling me as a contract to another company, and again, that was positive aspects showing, okay, the company actually cared. So that's going to be one way of looking at it. The way that they're approaching your situation is not the same whatsoever.
Yeah.
My most recent situation, where I was let go alongside the rest of the group, was actually much better, to the point where I was back to performing and actually starting to get hours back into work and things along those lines. And everything communicated was positive. But we were all just flat out cut off, my boss and their boss included, saying, sorry, the most recent results of the election are, we're cutting all of our resources in this whole area. And I worked specifically in fraud prevention, so that was kind of the group that was shut off. So
I see.
2 different things. The other one, I was kind of landing off in the middle of nowhere, so I figured, okay, I should be able to start up by sending out my resume and I should get plenty of hits, and I did initially, but now the market is so flooded to the point of if you did actually separate from your job and the other one didn't actually do well, if things don't improve drastically, do you really want to be stuck there? That's the question that I would like to pose you.
Mm.
And I'll hop off mic now.
Thank you. I appreciate your insights and your lore dump very much. Also, hello, Weeha. I see you have snuck into
Hello.
Discord as well.
I have indeed.
Do you have any personal stories to share as far as making difficult decisions in your life and how you were able to navigate the course?
No. I
That's
just
okay.
like to hear things.
That's okay. I appreciate you being here, and I agree. Sometimes it's nice to hear things in real time, if it's
Sure.
possible to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big delay between Twitch like chat and then when I hear things.
It's even worse in YouTube. I have YouTube set to low latency as opposed to like little to no latency. I think it's called ultra low on YouTube, and it's a longer delay than Twitch. But I've chosen it that way because YouTube has better video processing that way.
Oh.
The bigger delay you're willing to accept, the better the video quality.
The video quality is?
Yeah. So it's,
That's interesting.
catch 22. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Risa
I guess it
says,
makes sense.
oh, so these are entrepreneurial projects. Yeah. The stuff that I've been able to work on when things are slow at work have generally been for my own brand benefit or for the other job that I don't talk about on stream, the benefit of that project, not the day job. Mew says, I'm tired today, but it is a-okay. I am definitely there too. I will probably cut stream earlier tonight just so that I can respect getting better sleep, because a number of you have voiced over the course of the last year that you are concerned with the amount of sleep that I get, and I'm trying
Get
to...
good sleep, man.
What?
I said get good sleep, man.
I miss it. I do like sleep. I'm just here's the thing. I'll level with you all as to like why I've deprioritized it for so long. I really want to quit my day job and I really want to be full-time in content. But the only way I can see doing that is to take my foot and stick it into the content creator pool in advance, because I can't just like quit my day job, have zero income and zero gravity online and expect to develop it out of nowhere. I feel like I have to have some momentum first. Well, to get that momentum, I need to work as a content creator while also working my day job. And my day job won't let me work less than 40 hours a week. In fact, sometimes I work more than that. And last month I've been working more than that almost every day. But if I stop doing content creation, I lose the momentum. So I put in extra hours, the hours where I probably should be sleeping, to keep that momentum so that I have that parachute where I can drop out of the job I don't want and jump into the job I do want. Most people don't have that consideration, because if you're not doing content creation, the next job that you're going to come into, they don't expect you to have been working it, right? That's just the nature of being a content creator, is you need some momentum in advance. And I don't know how else to do it. I forgot I'm not a healer. I was trying to cast my heal dot and I don't have it. Womp womp. And so that's why I've been losing so much sleep, but I do think it's bad, especially because to create content, you also need to sort of be like a human being. You can't just be an empty shell. Well, I think some people can get away with being an empty shell. I can't. I'm more cerebral. And so I probably need to keep prioritizing sleep so that I continue to be something worth watching. Yeah. Your character is cute. Thank you. I worked very hard to make one of my favorite characters, I think, of all time in all the MMOs I've ever played. I really like playing Dark Elves. This game has something like Dark Elves or synonymous to Dark Elves. I like playing females in MMORPGs because of the way you get treated online. Not gonna lie, I prefer the way people treat me when I'm playing a female character to when I play a male character. I don't know anything about this game. Just look at the pretty colors. Yeah, you don't need to know anything about the game. Just admire how colorful and gorge the game is. Risa says, Troa, thank you for sharing. So one of my goals at work is to work on my writing if I'm caught up with grading or prep. Oh, I love that. I'm always so busy, but one day, hopefully one day you do get to that place where you get paid to work on your writing instead of just what you have to do for your job. Gavin, speaking of cute characters, I love this. Are you a fan of Final Fantasy games? This is one of my favorite Final Fantasy games of all time. This is my character dressed up as Black Mage, which is what she's currently doing right now. She's casting big Black Mage spells, doing the thing. All the big bada boom.
I forget that your time's different from my time. I was looking at the stream and it said 12:33. I'm like, it's 12:33 already?
I know, right?
No.
It is somewhere.
I forget that I'm an hour behind.
It's always 12:33 somewhere.
Always 12:33. If you don't mind me, I like talking about wrestling. It's off topic, but
I don't mind.
Can I just give you a little update as to how that's going?
Certainly.
So, I'm obviously wrestling a lot, right?
Yeah.
So, I went to this place in the capital.
Mhm.
So I live right outside the capital city. So I drive to the capital, and that's where I got taught. After my normal practices for my team, I'd go to get coached by the first 4-time NCAA champion.
That's pretty amazing.
And that was pretty good, but the practices weren't that hard, and he picked a lot of favorites, big time favorites.
Oh, I see.
So like his son got to learn all the extra stuff. He got to show all the moves. He got the easiest live partners, all of this, right?
Mm.
And the people that were already good is the only ones he actually cared about teaching. So the rest of us kind of took a back seat. And so I just decided to drop that because I did not like the way he ran. He hit you with the remix. I did not like the way he ran things.
Yeah.
And so now I go and I get coached at this local college program. We have in town, we have a local Christian Baptist college, I think is what it is. Yeah, CBC, Central Baptist. Yeah. So I go to this Baptist college and I get coached with a few members of my team. It's a 3-hour-long practice in a college wrestling room, so pretty freaking cool.
That's very cool.
Yes. Cool thing about that college specifically is they recruit they often try to recruit Conway wrestlers if they can. So we had our third ever Conway wrestler to go to college on scholarship my first year.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty neat.
And I imagine you're probably an easy shoe-in to be one of those down the line.
Potentially in the future.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I got to prove myself a little bit more, but I got time.
Of course. Yeah, you got time.
I got time.
Good stuff.
Right now I'm just trying to make it to the state tournament. And if I can do that, I'll be happy.
Mm. I believe you will. That's just me.
Hope so. I sure hope so. Unfortunately, we have a week and a half off, which is sad. I'd rather spend more time wrestling.
Don't blame me there. When you love something, it's all you want to do with your time. And I feel that
sure.
immensely.
But the practices are rough.
Oh,
They're hard. So today was a pretty average day. So I'll just tell you what happened. So we went live the entire practice so my practices are an hour and 30 minutes long. An hour of wrestling and then 30 minutes of working out, usually, give or take. So for an hour, really 45 minutes we went live, and then 15 minutes we did hard drilling. So I for real wrestled people for 45 minutes.
wow.
And my partner weighs 270 pounds.
Jeez.
So he's a big boy.
Yeah.
I weigh 218 pounds. So small difference.
Bit of a difference there. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Bit of a difference. But so I wrestled him for 45 minutes. And then 15 minutes of hard drilling, and one of those drills includes there's this thing called sprawling in wrestling, and it's basically when you try to grab someone's legs and they fall on top of you to stop you. Put all of their weight right on your neck.
Oof.
So this 270-pound man falls on my neck, and I have to try and pull him up anyways. That's the drill. Yikes. And then for our 30 minutes of workout, we go downstairs because my wrestling room is upstairs because we share a facility with my local football team.
Yeah.
So wrestling room's upstairs, but we go downstairs, and here's our workout. So we go for 400. We run a 400 meter, so that's one lap around the track. So we run a 400 meter, and then we came in. We did chin holds, 10 seconds up, so 10 seconds of pulling yourself up, then 10 seconds of pulling yourself down, all one rep. Go out, run another 400, come in, do the chin holds, again, 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down, and then add 25 push-ups. Go back out, run for another 400. So you're at, 2,400 meters, I think.
Yeah.
Come back in, 10 seconds up, 10 seconds down, 25 push-ups, then run 400 more meters, come in, throw a 35-pound medicine ball over your head backwards for 100 yards, and then you hit a tire with a sledgehammer, a heavy sledgehammer. We did that 10 times. So that was honestly the lightest workout, was just hitting the tire 10 times.
Are they trying to
And
break
then-
you?
Pretty much. And then for our final thing, you have to carry your partner. They have to go dead weight, and you have to do something called partner drags. Do you lock right under their armpits? They go dead weight, and you have to drag them. We did it 50 yards.
Oy.
Yeah. So half a football field dragging a grown man, basically.
That's
It's fantastic.
Brutal. Yeah, really brutal.
Brutal, yeah. And today was one of the easier days.
Jeez.
Yeah. The running was the hard part. So I'm 218 pounds, right?
Mhm.
So there are people that can run at 218 pounds.
Sure.
I'm not one of them. I'll run about an 8-minute, 32-second mile.
Okay.
But this 400 meter come and work out, 400 meter come and work out, 400 meter come and work out, 400 meter probably killed me.
Yeah.
I probably died 3 times. And you want to know the funniest part? Like truly the funniest part about it? I'd go back tomorrow and do it all again.
Really?
If I could, I'd do it all again tomorrow.
Because it's a forge. It's building you. It's making you stronger.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and I like it. I like the way It hurts good.
Hmm. I wish
It
I
hurts
had that.
good.
I wish I had that. I wish I felt that way.
Just a little bit of crazy and a lot of want.
Good.
And then I do so here's my weekly routine. You ready for this?
Ready.
So, Monday, I have practice. So an hour of wrestling, 30 minutes of workout. Go home, shower. Go at 1 p.m. to my after practice basically, my 3-hour practice at the college.
Mhm.
Come home. Go to help the little kids, the youth wrestling program. Come home, crash, die, sleep. Wake up on Tuesday. Go to practice. Come back. Go work. Come home, crash, fall asleep. Wednesday, go to practice. Come home, go to my other practice, work. Crash, fall asleep.
Oof.
Thursday, no more practice. Hallelujah. Get up, go work, work out, and then come home, fall asleep after a little bit of free time.
Wow.
Same thing on Friday and Saturday. And then on Sunday, I go to my practice, but it's my rest day for everything else. So I just get to chill. I just get to hang out and work. But I get to hang out and chill. Just more free time. And then we start it all over.
Crazy.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. And now
But
that
if you
school
even
is
like the
starting up-
hardest part of that, then I can see why you persist.
Oh, for sure. Well, the hardest part is that CBC wrestling. I'll tell you that right now. For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
That's the hardest. It's 3-hour practice. I left my first practice. I left there cramping in places I didn't even know I had muscles.
Yeah.
It was bad. It was really bad. Drink water, by the way. That's really important. I'm not sure if you knew that. Water's very important.
Oh yeah.
Just,
I had a hunch.
yeah, I have to drink a shit ton.
Yeah.
And now with school and education starting back up.
Thanks for the water check.
right as the mail.
Speaking of water,
Yep.
now that school's starting back up, before school, I have to show up early in the morning and work out. Go through my, daily school, stay after practice, and then go to my other practice. And then come home when it's like 8 p.m. and I can't work on Monday. Tuesday, same. Tuesday, before school, after school, go home. Wednesday, before school, after school, go to my after school. If that makes sense.
Kind of.
Thursday, before school, after school. Friday, before school, no after school. We're not allowed to be it's called the indoor facility. We're not allowed to be in the indoor facility on Fridays for whatever reason.
Okay.
Like the wrestling program isn't even allowed to be there.
Hmm.
Like the coaches can't be there. I don't know why. It's because the school hates us.
There might be some sort of like how much you're allowed to work. People
It's
of
not
a certain
that because
age
football's
group.
still allowed to be there.
Oh,
Football's
then,
still allowed to
then
be
I don't
there, so
know.
it's
Yeah,
not
that sounds.
Well, we
biased
have
then.
gotten kicked out numerous times of the indoor facility, so football could have something going on.
I see. That sounds like rules
Because-
for thee and not for me kind of thing. Then
Yeah. Well, football makes them money,
exactly.
so
Yeah.
wrestling isn't exactly a spectator sport. So
Yeah.
but it's not that bad. I enjoy it, so it is what it is.
Good stuff. Sounds like a lot, but it sounds like you're up for the challenge in every which way and shape and form.
I like to think so. It really is. If I were to put it into words, it really is like it feels like hell. But it's like if you burned yourself, if you stuck your hand in the hottest blue flame you could think of, and it was like charring your skin, like it was falling off. but you just had the biggest smile on your face because you were like a masochist or something. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it.
All right.
But people definitely have it a lot harder than me. Those college people, oh my god. There's this video. I'm not going to be able to show you it, obviously, because you're doing something, but I'll just describe it to you. There's this video of, I think it's the Iowa coach. Hold on. Iowa wrestling. I think it's the Iowa wrestling coach. It is. And he has a video. It was like 8 p.m. They had already been wrestling for like 4 hours after college, after their college deal, whatever. Most of them had gotten out of, had their classes done at this point. So that way they could do the wrestling. And 4 hours already have gone by, and they're like hard drilling. They're sweating. They look like they're going to die. Like if I had that much sweat, you'd probably think I was going to turn into a dry sponge. But they're just over there doing everything just fine. And the Iowa coach is like kind of getting interviewed. And they're like, how long is practice usually? He goes, until we get better. And how long is that? Until we're better.
Wow.
Well, how long is this practice going to be? Until we get better. What's the goal of practice? Getting better.
Yeah. Hardcore.
Hardcore. Iowa's a top 3 school, by the way.
I believe that.
So, yeah. Pretty fucking gross. It's pretty gross, man. Gross in a good way, though.
Gross in a way that you seem ready for.
I want it so bad.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have gotten started earlier. That way I could have more experience and I could have stood out more. I could, if I had 5 more years of experience under my belt, I could stand out to scouts right now, but I can't. Because I don't have 5 years of experience. I have 1.5.
Yeah, but you'll get there.
So
You clearly got the moxie.
that's the plan.
Yeah.
That's the plan. You may be better than me, but you don't outwork me. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. That's the thing I approach. Is there's people that have 4, 5 years of experience, raw talent. I don't have raw talent. I'll tell you that right now. I have a knack for a lot of things. Wrestling is not one of them. That's why it intrigues me so much. That's why I joined, because it was hard.
That's a rare trait.
There's people out here that they think they're better than you because they can beat you, and you may actually be better than me, but you won't outwork me. You're not gonna beat me on that mat, despite your raw natural talent, and I win. So like, you can't outwork me, you can't out challenge me, you can't beat me. So what does that make you?
Yeah.
That's something I approach it with too. So I got gifted a mindset, and it's helped.
I think that is probably more valuable overall than having like a natural skill at something.
Let's hope.
Yeah, we'll see.
Here's hoping.
Let me catch up chat. It's been
Thanks for letting me
hot
out.
minute.
I
Oh yeah,
appreciate
for
that.
sure. Where do we leave off? I always pick femme characters, but only because I'm one of them queers. There doesn't have to be a reason why you choose who you play in online games. People just play who they want to play. I figure it really comes down to, if you don't look a certain way in real life, or even if you do, just whatever you want to look like in a game, that's your business. What kind of character do you like looking at? Make that character. And that's generally what I like to do. I like to make characters that I like to look at. And that's my one guiding principle. I mean the emote, but your character is cute too. Oh, thanks. I worked hard on a lot of the emotes myself, but there are a few that are custom, or not custom, but created by a very talented individual named Cryogeneris, who is on Fiverr. and they're phenomenal to work with. They also did all of Nico's cool emotes. Maybe all of Nico's emotes. Mine are half homebrew and half Cryo's work. Yeah. My internet keeps freezing up. Have you tried wrapping it with a blanket? I don't know if that
Make it
necessarily
warmer.
works, but yeah, cuddle your router, and you might be surprised what happens. I mean, who knows? It's
Ooh,
definitely not
flirt
going to
with your
hurt.
router. Flirt with your router, make it blush.
Yeah, make your router blush. Yeah, I recommend it. Have you considered some gig work? I used to work gig work. So I used to work in Hollywood, and I am near Smalleywood. So there is the option to dust off my CV and get back into work that would bring me into, you know, creative filming, commercial, TV and movie. I've done basically everything that the entertainment industry has to offer, except for reality TV, because that's kind of a CV breaker. Once people get wind that you do that type of work, you could be pigeonholed, and that's not in my interest. But I've done just about everything else, so that's an option for me. As a techie guy, I think places like Upwork, for example, could be useful to make some scratch on the side, capitalizing on your industry experience while also making the transition to content creator more feasible, somewhat mitigating the uncertainty of steady income. I haven't looked, like, yes, I'm also techie. I'm kind of the best of both the artistic and techie worlds, and I know that tech generally pays better, which is honestly why I'm doing a day job in tech as opposed to doing more in the entertainment industry right now, just because the money was just that much easier to chase. Like, literally, there's almost no job easier than being an actor, except being like an analyst, which is, it feels stupid and backwards. You know, I feel like actors should get paid like way more, but only big actors get paid big money. Oh yeah, I forgot to do your self-care and save the game. Well, the game's already saved, so I did the thing. This game auto saves, so I did that thing already. But I'd be curious to see what kind of tech work exists in Upwork for my skill set. I don't do a lot of coding these days, although I went to school for it. I'm like really rusty in that regard. So most of my work really comes down to like optimization and configurations and, you know, figuring out where people do their jobs really bad. I guess that's kind of like ultimately what analysts get paid to do, right? Is when people, your general public gets a really shitty hand dealt in their day job and they go, oh, this job sucks. Whereas if I ever got dealt a shitty hand in my day jobs, I would say, how do I change this? Or, you know, how do I make this better? How could I automate this? What could I do to have a better job? Or how can I make other people's jobs better? And that's what gave me the big bucks, the big quit being an actor every day type of bucks. So if that type of work exists in Upwork, then maybe. And if not, I don't mind, in fact, rather enjoy going into the work of being an actor again, being an entertainment professional again, because we're so close to Smalleywood where we are right now. And then it came back in time with the jokes about the router. Oh, nice, good. Because, yeah, I'd hate for you to have missed that. I don't do much of the coding anymore, but still at least know mostly enough to communicate what I need. Yeah, there's nothing I could hear a dev talk about that I wouldn't understand, I think, front end and back end, but I don't do it. I haven't done it in a long time. And the coding that I have been doing in more recent times, I feel is like It's like coder light stuff in my brain. It's mostly like SQL and Ruby, which I feel are kind of like, I don't know, more frou-frou compared to other languages. Like in college, I by and large used C++, Java, and assembly, and not by and large. I used assembly for one class for a part of that class, but I did it. I'm not going to say I have any proficiency in that anymore, but like those languages are things that I know on an academic level and then never used on a professional level. Whereas lately, what I've mostly done is in SQL and Ruby, and it feels just like pathetic in comparison. But I also feel like, you know, university always prepares you for really, really big stuff that probably is never going to become the needs of a business. And when you actually start working for a company and you figure out what it is that they're trying to solve for, they're not trying to solve for a lot. That's honestly done by the platforms they've already paid good money for. They're just trying to figure out like configuration or workflow issues. And so it's like, I'd really love this button to appear on this screen instead of on this screen, or I'd love to have this field be mandatory. It's you know, it's trifling little shit. Variable strings and loops, oh my. True. I had an intro to C++, but then I had to look into C# instead. I've never once looked into C#. I don't know anything about it. Yeah. But yeah, it's a consideration. What looks like might happen is my other job, the one we don't talk about, is also potentially clamoring to set me to a full-time schedule starting next year, which would absolutely necessitate me quitting my current day job in order to do that one full-time. It won't grant me more time as a content creator, so that sucks. It means you guys aren't going to see a drop-off in my scheduled time, but you also won't see an increase in my time online. It's just kind of going to be the same as it's been, probably, or less if I start to prioritize sleep. But it's also risky because that job's income stream is contingent on me making big changes to the business model to try to increase revenue to be able to afford me to come on. And that's scary. It's kind of like saying you're hired, you have this amount of time to make yourself viable, and if you don't, you could, you know, drain the coffers basically and make this impossible to continue on with you being there. So in other words, I don't just get a job, I also get foisted the responsibility of making sure that I can keep the job by changing the current income streams so that they can afford me. Just and I'm not asking for a lot of crazy money. I'm literally just asking for cover the roof over my head, the food in my kids' stomachs, and periodically some new clothes. I can wear the same old clothes day in and day out, and I often do. But my kids keep growing, so, you know, they keep needing new clothes. The Damien stream reminder to help life continues. Good. See, this is another reason why I can't just not stream on Wednesdays. Because if I don't, Troa doesn't water his plants.
Are you familiar with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure by chance?
So I have a friend that is a super fan of JoJo and tried to get me into it. And I'm just I'm in a place in my life where, because I'm trying to do this transition from this soulless job that doesn't do anything for me to doing stuff that really does it for me. I'm spending so much time trying to earn the money that I'm not spending time ingesting like new content and stuff that other people want me to see.
What you doing?
So I'd
Chatting with them?
love to be able to say, yes, I've watched anything of JoJo, but I honestly haven't. Hi, Stuart and Teresa.
I will say I do not think D would enjoy JoJo.
Really?
Really?
I
I know
don't feel like
part
it's your
one's
thing.
unbelievably ass. I know he wouldn't like part one because no one should.
I was actually thinking something.
That's kind of
What's your
surprising.
opinion on part one, Stuart?
It's a little hard to hear on the Discord. The music's coming through.
The music is coming through. Yeah, everything's coming through.
My music is coming
Right.
through on Discord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything is. Yeah. The gameplay and everything.
Sorry,
It's all good.
Discord reset my audio input into Discord, and I forgot which channel I had set up to do it. So I have you just set to kind of like, here's everything from my computer, which is probably not the right answer.
That's okay.
I mean,
Uh,
it is and it isn't,
I'm
because
okay,
if you're
by the way.
hearing my music, that's probably not great. Jam. No sound or music here, and I love it. Wait, there's no sound. There's sound coming through on the stream. I can see it. I can visually see it coming through. All I need is your dulcet tones. I think I just have the music down low.
is it video game coming through?
The game music.
Thought I was watching JoJo once, but it was he, Dio.
You are my dad.
Dio.
You're my dad. Woogie.
Maybe.
Oz. Only voice and game? I mean, you can hear
Whoa.
Discord audio too, right?
Yeah, I could hear Weehaw.
Yeah. Routing. So, oh crap. Output. Multi-track. Routing. I have to heal. I can fix the Discord thing later. I think what I did is I turned on game audio for a reason, and I can't remember what that reason is, but I think I had a reason behind that choice, and then I forgot to turn it back off again. So sorry that you guys have to hear
You're okay.
my game sounds.
Makes you a little hard to hear.
Weeha
Yeah.
had asked
Just
you
a little.
what you thought of part 1 of
Of JoJo?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought it was okay. It is not my style of anime.
it is so ass. Part one is trash. I'm gonna be honest, but all the other parts are pretty good. Maybe not the first half of Stone Ocean, but all the other parts are really good.
I got up to Jotaro.
Jotaro?
Yeah, Jotaro. It was okay. It's still. I always describe
So that's
JoJo
part
as
3.
two kids arguing of whoever's gonna win a fight by just coming up with some crazy things like I have a dog. Well, I have a.
Well, okay. So in all fairness, Jotaro basically can see any ability and be like, "Oh yeah, hold on, wait a minute. That's one of what like Star Platinum's abilities. I couldn't remember his name. Oh yeah, that reminds me of Star Platinum's abilities." And then he beats your ass with it just because he can.
Yeah.
But the stands got more complicated as parts go on. So part 3 is when he just started introducing stands, right? So they're not as good. But like part 5, I think has some of the best stands. That's Golden Wind. You're gonna meet Giorno. Part
I
4
know
is incredible.
Giorno is
Part-
too.
yeah.
I've kept up
Part-
with like what happens because I have friends who like it. It's just not my thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be D's thing.
Hmm.
That's,
Yep.
Like he would watch it and be like, if you were sitting with him watching it, he's like, okay, yeah, I'll watch this. But I don't think he'd go out of his way to watch something like that.
Makes sense. I love it personally. That's why I
Nothing
I
bad
always
against people who
suggest
like it,
I love it.
but
Yeah.
just
Yeah. Well,
It is
also really
definitely-
like Bleach. So
yeah. Talk to Crimson about Bleach. He has tattoos on his arm.
his Bleach tattoos.
Yeah.
I
He's
love
also
it.
white,
I love
so
it. I love
he might
Bleach.
have bleached his whole
He's
body.
also what?
He's also white, so he might have bleached his whole body.
He might have.
Wow. That's a bold thing to
Might-
say about somebody
could've-
who has vitiligo. How do you pronounce that?
I'm glad you got
He has
that. Dave.
vitiligo. Oh.
Vitiligo.
Oh.
He also
Oh,
happens to
no.
be European of descent of some sort, so a lot of people think
Oh, oopsie daisy! I didn't know that. Michael Jackson.
that vitiligo only happens to people of darker skin. It does happen to people of light skin too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Munish said in chat Michael Jackson, and it's got me dead.
Wow. Let me catch up in chat. Sam says, I'd like to hear your thoughts on the job ad I posted to Discord. Any experience with any of those items? Let's see. Position data steward. I mean, there's a steward in chat, but I can also be a steward. Location, global, hybrid. Please don't ask questions. That's weird. Start date yesterday. Is this a joke? This must be a joke. Oh, yeah. Compensation, LOL. Data owner at nowhere.com. Gotcha. Job requirements. Be responsible for 10,000 plus data tables. That, I mean, if we were saying this seriously, obviously it's a joke, but 10,000 plus data tables doesn't make any difference. I don't care about responsibility for all of that as long as it's round robin and it's all set up for me. Track down who created customer version 2 final CSV. Easy. I'm really good at using audit trails. I love auditing people and then blaming somebody else for things because I also like foisting blame off of myself and onto other people. Own broken pipelines nobody wants to admit exists. I refuse to do that. So I'm happy to blame somebody else. Work cross-functionally with teams who don't know what governance means. I already do that. That's fine. Maintain perfect data quality without actual control over any systems. Define perfect. Do the shareholders know that the data quality isn't perfect? If they believe it's perfect, then we've done our job. And I don't need admin in every particular environment, though I ask for it anyways. Have zero decision rights, but be accountable for everything. That's literally what's happening to me this summer. And smile through chaos. That is also literally happening to me this summer. Normally, I don't have to appear on camera. And as of this summer, I have to appear on camera every single day on a useless Zoom meeting where I smile and tell somebody, thank you so much for your useless piece of shit feedback that proves that you know nothing about the business model or what I do in the company, and that you are doing something that makes your boss happy so you can keep earning your C-level salary while I earn my not C-level money. And I just keep smiling because as long as I'm pleasant, maybe they won't let me go. Yeah. So I hate this because it's very triggering and it reminds me very much of my current job.
And it's supposed to be a joke.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a joke, but it's a joke because some of us make our money doing this shit. Yeah. What's happening with your stream schedule? I heard you say something, but I was on my way out. There's still stuff up in the air. Things were supposed to have been resolved in the last like 2 weeks that have not been. I'm still waiting on some word from stuff to figure out exactly what's happening in the foreseeable future. But the gist of it is I need to somehow reduce my late night hours online in order to continuously wake up at 6 a.m. and not piss you all off by neglecting my sleep schedule like I've done so much, especially last year. The school year last year, I was really sleeping a maximum of 4 hours. And it really bothered a lot of you, and it should have bothered me more than it did. And so in order for me to do Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 to 5 hours of stream, I have to neglect my sleep. So I'm not quite sure what the right answer is, except something probably needs to change. And we're not quite there yet because I don't know all the variables that I want to know to be able to give you an answer. In other words, when we had that stream schedule change stream, it was more like, sorry guys, there's a bunch of stuff up in the air that I still can't determine fully. If I do reduce hours on nighttime stream scheduling, I will add them back in day schedule. is what I'm looking to try to do anyways. So I don't know how to make that happen yet, but a household with kids who aren't home and are actually at school means that there is some stuff that I can do and stream during the day somehow, and do some, maybe just stream me working, because I've watched a few other people doing that, and it seems to be working out for them. So maybe it would work for me too. I don't know.
This music got intense.
Only voice and game and Discord. In other words, my alerts aren't going off, or what's going on?
It might be the game music, because I can barely hear the music with my volume maxed
I have
out
to
here.
make you really loud to hear the game. I can adjust all that when I'm not in this fight. We can try to make it work, but right now we can't. There should be like, you should be able to hear the game audio low, but not distractingly high underneath my voice while I talk. I prefer no music personally and game audio down. I mean, I definitely want it low. I don't want it. This is not a play the game audio loud, because this is not a stream where you come in to watch the game because the streamer doesn't have any personality, right? In my humble opinion.
Kit1004 just subscribed.
Anon, thank you for gifting one of our favorite fellow streamers a gift sub. Welcome, Kit, to the side of skipping ads. Also, do I want to shower or go back to sleep? I think showering makes you sleep deeper. At least it does for me. So my vote would be always shower if you've got enough chutzpah to do it. Pardon my Yiddish. I drew a quick drawing. It's pretty cute. Did you draw Michael Jackson? Just kidding. I know how that was related to the previous conversation. Orchids 2, new alert. Orchids? Oh, nice. I have some with blue freckles, but the only blue orchids I've had were dyed. Oh, yeah. So it's not a naturally occurring color in orchids. I know very little about orchids, except that they're easy to break. And by break, I mean, like, kill by your negligence, I suppose. Though you could probably also break them with your hands. I wouldn't recommend it because they're very expensive. They'll bloom. Hopefully they do bloom. A lot of American language comes from Yiddish. I don't believe that. There are some, maybe like 5 words that I can think of off the top of my head that come from Yiddish. But I don't think a lot of American English comes from Yiddish. If you can share with me more than 5 Yiddish terms that are regularly used in English, then you will change my mind. But I can think of 5. And the 5 that I use, I still confuse some people, because there are just some folks out there that haven't really been exposed to Yiddish. So I'm like, stop kvetching about that. And some people be like, stop whatting? What the hell does that mean? Or just schlep that over there. Shh. Do you say sleep funny? What do you mean? So I've definitely met people that don't even know what I consider as like the elementary Yiddish terms to be in their vernacular in English. In my opinion,
I don't know what schlep means, but that's a great word.
Schlep, it just means to move, to carry.
Oh, that makes sense. In my damn. Never mind. You can
Remix. Remix. Sorry.
I'll add that to my vocabulary and my vernacular.
There you go. In my opinion, MMORPG is kind of boring. Oh, MMORPG gameplay is kind of boring. but I think it works as a background for your Discord streams. Exactly. Like, I'm making progress in things that I like to develop in my character that are sort of like grindy, and I don't have to pay a whole heck of a lot of attention to the game in order to do those things. So you and we can still chat, and I can keep track of a conversation instead of games that are like narrative heavy or puzzle heavy, where if it's puzzle heavy, I have to stop talking to you and think about the game, which is, you know, immensely distracting to the conversation. And if it's narrative heavy, then I have to stop playing the game, because if I press, you know, the advanced dialogue button, then the characters start speaking, and then somebody else is the star of the show, and I'm the star of this show. I'm not even a narcissist, and I still have to be the star of something. No, obviously, like we're well past the point where I need to hide behind games because I feel like I'm inadequate to be online. Which, if there's any proof that I'm not narcissistic, when I started streaming, all I did was hide behind the games that I chose, because I didn't think that you'd necessarily show up just to talk to me. And you proved me wrong, so thank you. Super neat, especially considering Yiddish is a dying language. Dying might be not the right word. I think integrated might be a better term. There are languages where the vernacular in the language doesn't really get used by modern generations, where I think there's sort of in-grouping that happens with Yiddish that doesn't happen so much with other languages that are dying. And therefore, because there's a cultural aspect, a sociological aspect with maintaining certain words and terms, and that Yiddish has certain shortcuts that we have that make a nuanced explanation of something that you wouldn't otherwise have in another language. It's probably not going to like die. Making the decision of what to do with your stream times kind of matches the discourse theme. It is one of the bigger questions that I have for the next several months. So basically from August to December, there's going to be some big decisions that I have to make as far as when I stream, what other content I'm able to make in my spare time, and how I can prioritize my own personal health, like sleep, in all of that as well, while also trying to hold on to a day job that has become more hostile than it used to be. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to consider. And if you haven't figured this out by now, probably 50% of the discourse topics I choose are personally helpful. In other words, I'm using you all as a community to theorycraft and externalize brain power for things that I've been mulling over in my own head for some time, and want other people's opinions and value your solutions to these problems that I pose. For sure.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to let it be known that I will be going to bed now. I'm tired.
And you work yourself to the bone, so I don't blame you for being tired.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Stuart.
Thank you so much for
Bye,
popping
Dane.
in.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me pop in.
Yeah.
It was
Have
nice
yourself
talking.
a wonderful night. Hope you get restorative sleep and you're able to grind all the more from everything that gets built up on your sleep times.
Hell yeah. Get good sleep. It's important.
I will. I probably won't push it too much later, even though this is like only half of
Even
my
if you
stream
can't
time.
get long sleep, make sure you're getting good quality sleep.
That's
If at all possible.
yeah.
Make sure that you're avoiding screens whenever you go to bed, because that is actually helpful.
I do know that, and I definitely am the sort of person who will put my phone down when I put my head on the pillow. I will not just like, yeah, doom scroll my way to sleep.
Whoa. And if you can put the phone down and the screens down 10-15 minutes before you go to bed, it's double the help.
I might have to start that practice.
It just helps your brain calm down before you go to bed.
Yeah. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah, get good sleep. If you can't get a lot of sleep, get good quality sleep.
Thank
There's
you.
3 tenets. If you can sleep long, you can give up quality. If you can sleep quality, you can give up long. And if you can't do either, you're screwed. So those are my 3 tenets.
Thanks. All right. Have a good night, Weah.
Nighty night.
I didn't fix the audio before I jumped into another thingy. Sorry. We just got so into chat that I forgot to actually prioritize doing all the audio mixing that I said I was going to do. I bought the one with blue freckles. Oh, brought the one with blue freckles home. I used to have 13 orchids. Now I have 2. Oh, no. Mealy bugs, fast, mean, and so sad. That super sucks. Yeah, just kind of like the Emperor of Mankind in 40K. I'm unfamiliar with the background, the lore background. I know what 40K is. I just don't. I'm not well educated in that regard. Sorry. Just the bones left, but just won't die. Jeez. Crazy. Let's see. Do I have the right things cast? I think I do. Do you think you'll have Omori stream on Sunday or not sure yet? I should. The only reason why I didn't do Omori this last Sunday is because the very next day was the first day of school, and I knew I was going to have a really rough time. Like, I was already so tired before stream. I think like maybe 7 p.m. that day, I was like, I am struggling so hard just to exist. I'm having a really bad time. And by the time stream time came, there was almost nothing of me left. So I knew it was going to be a really bad idea for me to try streaming. It was going to be an inferior stream, and I was going to really hamstring what sort of a resource I could have been to get the kiddos ready for school and just have their best first day possible. I knew I was running on fumes, so I had to not do it. But I don't see any problem with doing this next Sunday's stream. I'm starting to get into my own swing of things. You know what I mean? No dying. There's no point for Yiddish speakers. Oh, no, dying. Gotcha. There's no point for Yiddish speakers who are 99% Jews to teach Yiddish to their kids. Except, again, for in-grouping. There is a socialization aspect to linguistics. It's an in-grouping thing. Hebrew's become the language that most Jews speak nowadays. Depends on where you grow up, or what neighborhood, what sort of socialization you have, who your family is. There are reasons to keep Yiddish over Hebrew. Okay. Yeah, just historically. The amount of speakers going down, thus the language is dying. I mean, number of speakers going down also does not necessarily mean language death, though, I think. Or language dying. Reduction, I don't think necessarily means dying, I guess is my point. Sleep is the one thing I can't do. It's the one thing I wish for you the most, Troa. Because I know it's good for brain health. Uh-oh. Not that way. I set my phone at a different level from my head. I really don't use my phone much, though. Probably smart.
Hey, G, mind if I ask you to pick between 2 random names?
I'm sorry, what?
Would you be okay picking between 2 random names?
Between 2 random names, I would want to know why. But
it's just to decide which character I print first.
Oh, sure.
Gustav or Mael?
I would do Gustav first. Whoops.
Thank you. Makes my job easier.
Yeah.
I'm to pick.
Always happy to give random opinions that have no meaning to me, but mean a whole lot to you.
It honestly didn't have that much meaning to me. It just made it so I didn't have to decide.
I see.
Both are going to get printed. It just depends on which one first.
Yeah. I prefer it this way. You prefer the mix this way? I know you do, but there's a certain quality of show that I'm trying to make sure I present for the masses.
Oh, I actually made a character that you do know from one of our first playthroughs together.
Oh?
I don't know how well you remember it, but do you remember the non-Mr. X enemy in Resident Evil 2?
There were a lot of enemies that weren't Mr. X.
The other big boss.
No. Super don't.
William Berkey.
Nope.
No? Make it him.
Name doesn't ring a bell. Sorry, what?
He's just a big monster with a lot of eyeballs.
Okay, cool. Sounds creepy.
It's pretty creepy.
Kind of remember shooting at eyeballs. Now that you mention it, I remember there was a point in the game where I was focusing somebody's eyes and lamenting that the game didn't seem to tell me whether or not the eyes were an effective place to aim. Or like there wasn't enough visual affirmation that what I was doing was
enough visual cues to make sure that you were doing the right thing.
Yeah, like I'm used to playing games where it's like you shoot the eye, you see like blood gush out, or you hear a special noise, or the eye is animated in a way that you're like, oh hey, that's a weak spot. And I feel like RE2,
I
even the remake.
remember a conversation about that with you. You're like, oh, you're lamenting it. I'm like, it was gushing blood. It just, I guess, we're noticing it. It's the long and short of our conversation.
Yeah, could have just been.
And you kind of went back when you're like, oh, it was. I'm just blind.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I am blind.
Yeah, I just made a statue of him.
Cool.
I like making giant bloody monsters because they're easy to paint and they can be messy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wouldn't be the first time I was screwed, but oh well. Your kids start school in early August. So different schools start and stop at different times, depending on how many days you get of actual school during the school year and when you start and stop. I compared my old school schedule. I was compared her old school schedule. And it turns out that our kids have the same, roughly the same amount of school days as we do, but they end the school year earlier and they start the school year earlier. So it's not like a what they call like year-round school where you get more breaks during the actual year, but your summer is much shorter. They get a pretty long summer break, just like I did when I was a kid. But theirs starts about a month before my summer break started, and therefore they start school about a month before my school year started. Why that is, I'm not quite sure. It could be that summer is just different in Georgia than where I grew up. My first elementary schools were in Oregon. And so the weather just might have been prohibitive to be in classrooms during a certain time of year, or maybe it's that their summer break would have sucked if it was all the actual like summer months. Like May, getting out in May is not a summer month, right? It's like late spring. And so you could actually get outside and play more at parks and stuff without like heat advisory warnings or humidity issues or whatever. So maybe it's giving them more outside utility time. Whereas August, if the kids are outside and playing during August, it's awful and unbearable weather. And so maybe it's better that they're in AC environments and studying instead. It might just be a localization effect. These are guesses. I haven't asked anybody why their schedule is the way it is, or like maybe my schedule was weird and the Oregon schedule was the wrong way. Who knows? I start in a week or two. Okay. That sounds like you're also starting earlier than I did. Because I definitely started, it was like early September was my usual school starting schedule. Regularly start early September. Go ahead.
Teresa tried to compare me asking you which one to print first to the other story. She's like, yeah, if you're asking a hard question. I'm like, no, not at all.
I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you. Asked what?
You're having a hard time reiterating the things I say.
She was saying it was
No,
referencing the theme.
Yes, I'm saying that you can, if you have a hard decision to make, even though that might not have been a hard decision, you can ask your friends for their input, which fit the discourse, which might not have been his intention when he asked. But that's something you can do when you have a hard choice.
Like what question?
The one I asked which figure to print or which name.
Oh, but that's not hard. There's no.
She wasn't, but she's like, oh, but asking a friend is a good solution regardless of the how difficult it is.
Because you asked me, that was a good answer, is to ask a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought she was getting at the same thing you thought she was getting at.
No, just in general, like trying to ask friends for support. What do they think?
That's true.
I don't care what they think.
Wow.
Love you,
Yeah.
Teresa.
That's one of the reasons why I started this discourse, is because I value the opinions of those of you who are watching me, including those of you who are on VOD that can't answer live, because it's meaningful for me to gather insight from external viewpoints than just my own.
He does also read all the comments if you leave any.
What's that?
I was saying you also read all the comments.
I do try
it's a
to.
VOD.
I don't always answer them all, because sometimes, like, I don't always know what to say, but I should change that. I should find something to say. If I've read your comment, you should have some sort of affirmation that I did read it. That's on me. Oof. Why are we all so hurty? Tro says, I think that she's just highlighting the honesty that can occur, and sometimes all you need to do is ask. I think you're bound to get honesty when you ask somebody for advice. Very rarely, unless it involves that person, would somebody inject some kind of a falsehood in a response to your requesting their advice or insight on a matter. The only time I think I would ever be disingenuous is if I knew it was going to adversely affect me. Then be like, all right, sorry, but you're probably getting a fake answer because I don't want you to hurt me or put me at risk.
You were fairly quiet during the time we played, but did you enjoy Jackbox?
I did. Was I fairly quiet? I think there's just so much talking happening that I wanted to make sure that everybody felt like they had part of the stage. I'm trying to be like a good, I don't know, part of a larger troop. When that many people are in one Discord channel at one time, I don't want to be my natural actor self, because I think it takes too much of the attention away from others who might have trouble asserting themselves or finding their voice, or they might need some time to think up the clever thing to say. And so if you just jump in with the quick phrase first all the time, you can really disenfranchise other people from wanting to participate.
Huh.
Yeah. So
it was just something I noted while we were playing. Is like, oh, D hasn't really said much I hope he's enjoying it.
Yeah, it's I try to be fair and equitable with everybody and not step on anyone's toes. You notice in real life interactions, you don't have privy access to this as much, so I'm just informing you how it happens. That I'm this way with Oz when we meet new people, because Oz is more soft-spoken. And I believe that people really enjoy her personality when she's given the chance. If I let my natural effervescence take over, I take charge of the conversation, it becomes too much about me and my interaction with the new person. And she doesn't have enough opportunity to weigh in. So I step back and I get really quiet. And I'll sometimes let them know too. I'm like, hey, I'm not socially anxious or not feeling the vibe with you or anything, but I really want you to get to know my wife because I like her. I think she's cool, and I think you should have the opportunity to get to know her too. So that's my guiding principle there. Troa says, I don't like to take time on other people's streams for that reason. I'm not the star. Yeah, I feel that way whenever I'm on somebody else's channel as well. 100%. Oz is a goddess, kind of. I mean, she's very, very fallible goddess, like a Olympus goddess. I don't pedestal her, and I think she's more interesting for her flaws. So don't get me wrong and think that I have a unhealthy version of who she is in my head.
What is Oz's godly domain?
What is her what?
Godly domain.
Goblin snacks.
That's doable. That works.
Yeah. And not just goblin snacks, but goblin snacks.
I did get it. Wasn't sure if intentional.
Yes, it was. Why am I hurt?
Because you're alive.
I don't remember doing anything wrong that would get me so in trouble. Chaos? What are we talking about? Oh yeah, her domain is definitely chaos. Yes, Oz is a fallible goddess.
But chaos is the creator of the entire universe and the gods and titans.
Okay, well, she's just responsible for that power.
Okay.
Not that she has the power, but she's responsible for Chaos's interactions with the rest of the universe. If that makes any sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I'm just making stuff up right now because you're pressing me to come up with answers.
I asked Oz. She said she enjoyed it as I expected.
Mm-hmm.
How did you feel about Doctor Strange?
It was okay.
Just okay?
Just okay.
That's okay. I'm glad you didn't hate it. Sad you didn't really like it.
The world building was really interesting. The sort of new metric to look at the Marvel universe under was quite fun and interesting. And so for that, like I thought it was a good romp in a way that I didn't expect Marvel to go. Yeah. So that part was all really quite interesting. I did not find Steven to have much merit as a character.
He gets more as it goes on, I'll say.
Sure. Yeah.
Everyone's first movie is a little bit harder to nail them for the actors, it seems.
Maybe. Well, I feel like Robert Downey Jr. did a fantastic job with his first take of
absolutely.
Iron Man. And some other people I think did a good job too. I think the first Captain America and Thor, and we just saw Spider-Man Homecoming. He did a great job.
Oh yes.
So it can happen, but it didn't happen with Doctor Strange. I feel like he was like a discount Iron Man. Like he's full of himself. He's kind of like you know, a little bit extra, a little bit too much, larger than life. Gets humbled experiences, and they only somewhat transform him, but not really. And it's a story that we had already seen, just with different powers and different background to his knowledge base. So whereas Tony actually had other components to his personality to sort of flesh him out, I don't think that Doctor Strange had anything else you could say about him except that he was arrogant. I can't think of a single other personality trait they gave him. So he just felt very paper doll by the end of the movie. And they didn't give him anything along the way either, so he didn't develop deeper or learn new anything.
I did very much appreciate in the movie that they didn't do the generic trope of like ending or like having the fights be like, oh, my blast is bigger than your blast. It ended with a clever way to defeat the enemy.
Yeah, kind of. I don't know that it was easily understandable by a lot of people to get like how 'cause they sort of skipped over, if you enter a time loop, if you've put yourself into a time loop, how do you have autonomy at that point? You know, you've sort of granted time a certain level of mastery over you, where it's created sort of an infinitum experience that it doesn't make a whole heck of a lot of sense that you could just press the eject button whenever you wanted to, unless they, you know, explained to you that that was a possibility. So it felt a little bit Harry Potter at that point. Like the magic works exactly as Steven needs it to, and he has exactly the amount of powers as he needs to beat this absolutely cosmic force, because he's so smart and the power is so great. And you don't know it. You don't know this yet, but once you see it in action, then you'll know it's cosmic and powerful.
Sound, by the way.
Huh?
Sound, by the way.
Oh, fix the sound. Yeah.
I will say one thing I do wish they showed was supposedly, according to the directors, Steven was in there for years. Just on a loop, getting killed over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like it would have been a little bit more impactful if they showed like just a quick flash of like thousands of deaths.
Yeah.
Instead of just like the 5 or whatever it was.
Yeah, 100%. Or at least, I don't even know how you would visually depict it, but the way that they did it, there's no indication that it was years.
Yeah.
They could have.
It could have also
messed
with pacing if they had shown a lot of deaths.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'm turning up the in-game music a bit. Anybody who's watching stream, please let me know if the music is audible, but my voice is definitely more center stage. If the music starts to become too loud that it detracts from the sound of my voice in any way, I'll drop it lower again. If the music is inaudible, then it's too low, but I've bumped it up just a skosh in the mix, and then I'll deal with the Discord audio thing because it doesn't affect most of you. Olympus Goddess for sure. Oz, yeah, for sure. I'd say if Persephone got a run at a second start, I could see that. I could see Oz being a Persephone character. It also could have only really worked with Dormammu since he exists out of time. Right. So I understand the premise of, you mess with time with a timeless being so that they're experiencing something that's so alien to them that they can't wrap their head around what's going on. The premise of what he was doing makes sense, but I think the scope of his ability to control the power to basically put yourself in a loop in time is generally to allow yourself to
Well, he didn't really put himself in a loop. He Groundhog's Day himself. But he also remembered every death, every pain.
Yeah, and that part wasn't clear when somebody time loops. How do you know that they're Bill Murray? And Bill Murray didn't have the power to exit. Some other foreign force in Groundhog Day had that. You've met my criteria, son. Now go forth and live February 3rd, right? So the sort of weird, unnamed, unspecified deity has stepped in and granted him his freedom, whereas in Doctor Strange, he had his freedom himself with the power, but none of that was explained ahead of time, and I don't mind not knowing stuff ahead of time. In fact, I like being pleasantly surprised by stories, but when it's somebody's power to beat the big bad evil guy in a story, I kind of want to know that they're not pulling out something that you've just never seen happen at all before. And that's why I mentioned the Harry Potter magic, because the Harry Potter magic world is a world in which the magic does not seem to have a rule set. Like Wheel of Time, magic has a rule set. Game of Thrones, the magic has a rule set. It's very specific, it's limited, and the people that practice it have a trade-off ability to, they have to pay a price to do the things that they can do, and then they can only do certain things. And in Harry Potter, it feels like you could just do anything. You could literally pull a rabbit out of a hat, because Harry Potter just lets anybody do anything ever. And there really isn't so much I've paid the blood price for this, or I've lost 10% of my soul to cast this spell kind of thing. You could just kind of do anything, and you do anything whenever it serves the story to do, so it doesn't feel like the magic has any... You never learn about it. It's not a system. It's always a deus ex machina. Steven's magic started to feel much less like you're using the full potential of your spirit, and more like it's a deus ex machina to beat whatever they throw at him. And so that and his static character both made the story feel kind of weak. Whereas I'm not saying Marvel characters have to have dynamics to their personality, but so far, every Marvel character has more than one archetypal characteristic, and that makes them interesting. They're not literally just angry or just brave or just smart. There's something else, and he really didn't have more than one personality trait the whole movie.
I always felt like his other personality trait could be sad.
Sad? I don't consider that a personality.
Below.
Huh?
Sorrowful?
I don't consider that a personality trait. Unless you take normal things and you make them sad. Like Eeyore. Eeyore could be considered sad, and that could be considered a personality trait, because Eeyore is not sad at sorrowful things that happen to Eeyore. Eeyore is sad about everything. Eeyore is sad when good things happen, right? So I would consider that just reactive to the story and not part of who he is. The broskies, hi and welcome. Let me catch up with chat here. I probably would have shown simultaneous deaths at once as they faded in and out. Maybe that would have been could you imagine seeing all of the Doctor Stranges against Dormammu's in a big grid where you saw 16 different ones? You know when you do the captchas for Google and they're click all the pictures that have fire hydrants and keep clicking until they're all gone, and so you have to click ones that disappear and then new pictures reappear? What if it kind of looked like that, and it was just tons and tons and tons of Doctor Stranges dying gruesomely. Maybe it would have presented more than just the 5 or 6 deaths they depicted, so you get this idea of, oh, this went on for years. We don't need to see the whole like SpongeBob, 20 years later kind of splash page, but something that gives a better idea as to exactly how much time passed. How am I? Sleep deprived and stressed. So I'm probably cutting stream early tonight, just saying. You're pregnant? That might be why I'm stressed. Yeah. I can think of many reasons why I would be this stressed, and pregnant is probably a big one. Why is the bottom of this cup wet? It's not cold water. It makes me nervous when this shouldn't be. Like, is there a crack? It feels wet on the bottom where it shouldn't be. I don't remember splashing the outside of it with water or drinking bad. Makes me nervous. I have all this electronics like right around that cup too, so if it starts like really leaking water, it makes me nervous. Funny Reddit theory about Groundhog Day. Oh, by the way, do you hear the audio for the game better now? I don't want it loud. I just want it hearable, barely hearable, basically. So Reddit theory about Groundhog Day. Ned Ryerson, if you've watched the movie, you probably know who this is the devil. I believe that. And imprisons Phil Connors in the time loop when Phil refuses to purchase Ned's insurance. The only way Phil escapes is by finally agreeing to buy it. I feel like he would have bought it in one of his iterations, though. Did they ever show him saying yes before his final day?
Well, he gives him a big old kiss. I remember that.
That's different. I think that's like ridiculing. Like he's trying to like make him feel awkward so that he'll stop asking. I don't think that's the same thing. Yeah, I wonder. I'd never paid attention to if he ever said yes or looked like he was going to buy it on any of the failure days. It's a good question. That could be it.
By the way, still coming through Discord.
Sorry?
The music is still very much coming through Discord.
Yeah, I know. I'm not asking,
Okay.
or I'm not going to fix that until I fix the how audio is coming through in the stream, sort of thing. Even Hulk is more than just angry, right? Yeah. So everyone has more nuanced personality and arcs and interests, and they've all got something else going on to them. I feel like the only character that comes close to being as paper, as 2D, as Doctor Strange is Ant-Man. And they've still given him some deeper motivations, right? Like he's got his estranged family, his relationship with his daughter. He has a sense of honor that's just kind of hidden behind this goofiness, but he's also willing to put away that sense of honor to do like the Spider-Man villain thing of like, I'm not a bad guy, I just have a family in need and I'm gonna do some dark things to help them, like Sandman did and like Vulture did. So
well, Vulture started doing it.
Or yeah. So even he has a little bit more than Doctor Strange, and I don't think anybody else comes close to being that vapid as Strange is. I also wish for him, for the story telling you how smart he is, that that we ever really got to see it. And I don't feel like we really got to see it as much. We see a lot more of how Bruce Banner and Tony Stark are smart people than Doctor Strange. Get your sleep? No, just kidding. I probably will, but not a whole lot. Aren't you always sleep deprived? No, not always. Before 6 years ago, before 2019, I would regularly get about 8 hours of sleep, sometimes up to 10 hours of sleep. That was the regular MO for me. I really do great on 10 hours. I know that's a lot, and that kills a good amount of your productivity part of your day if you sleep for 10 hours. But my body likes 10 hours. My body really does. I thought it was something that I only needed as a teenager, and people said teenagers need more sleep. So when I used to get 10 hours a night, I used to just tell people, you know, I'm young and this is what I need. And then I got older and I still liked 10 hours. So I don't know. I really do best with 10 hours. At around 2019, my sleep dropped to around 6 hours a night, and it was broken. And then over the course of the next 6 years up till today, my sleep started to dwindle down to roughly 4 to 4.5 hours a night, with maybe a nap during the following day to try to catch up a little bit, usually somewhere between 45 minutes to an hour. So I rarely get more than 5 hours, and it's broken. You're supposed to get 5 hours minimum unbroken, and the closer you get to 7 to 8, the better for you. And I've been pretty bad off. But before 6 years ago, I was doing fantastic with sleep. And I love sleep. The only things I love more than sleep are the 3 lady folks under my roof, Oz and the 2 crotch goblins, and seeing their financial future set with the whole plan for my employment, which that's the big thing that's killing me. If I was financially able to secure their livelihood, then I would sleep. Pregnancy was awful. 0 out of 1,000 recommend. Oh no, the oxytocin flood didn't do what it was supposed to do and wipe your memory, so you would keep having more and more and more kids. I think with the way that we're able to digitize video and photo and replay memories and stuff, it's way harder to forget all the nuances of how bad pregnancy and childbirth were. And yeah, once you've experienced it, it's really easy to use all of those resources to recall all of that stuff that your brain tries to make you forget. Yes, they did. In one of the iterations, he buys it, and I think it's the last one. Wait, what? Sorry, I don't remember, or I don't know what this is in reference to. One of the iterations, he buys it. Oh, he buys the insurance. If it's the last one, then maybe that's a good fan theory then. Literally, it's because he helped Ned. Nothing else. It's not because he became a better person. Ned was just waiting to release him from his prison. Hard to wipe out the memory of losing 50 pounds from vomiting multiple times a day for 10 months. Oof. Oof. That's pretty brutal. I've heard really bad morning sickness, but that's, gosh, yeah. And who could blame you for not wanting to go down that path again? Okay. Nobody is saying that they can hear the audio of the game right now, so I will pass. I'll just leave it where it is right now. I'm going to go try to fix the Discord audio. Discord audio is receiving... shit, what are you receiving? Roadcaster 2 Pro... or Roadcaster Pro 2 chat. Right? Is that right? Is that what I want to send there? Yeah, it is. Okay, so... outputs, routing, chat. It's got to be this. And I had the game turned on. I don't know why. How about now, Stuart? Is game off?
It is off now.
Yes. Okay, that was easy. You can hear the music very slightly. Okay, that's probably good. Like, do you have to turn up the volume to hear it? Or at a natural volume for my voice, can you also hear music a little bit in the background? If you don't have to turn up the volume and there is music, That's plenty. Except I'm a masochist, I guess, and had 3 crotch combats. Maybe you are a masochist. Would love to say it was a different experience, but it was the same hell every time. Oof. And you were ready to get up on that saddle again and again. Like, yeah. I really liked feeling that awful. I guess the oxytocin did its job then. What are we looking at? 2 hours, 30 minutes? Do I want to do more? I guess I could just do trials and normal raids. They're like both super short stuff.
I am not a collector of them, but apparently they are making Rocky Horror Picture Show Funko Pops.
Cool. I don't buy into what Funko does to characters.
I don't either.
I see why people like it, because people like things that are very similar to each other but different enough that they have the characterization of something. So I understand the draw. It's just not a me thing. But then I also don't like things on shelves. Which I know you and I disagree with pretty dramatically.
I just feel that they are overpriced.
How much is a
for
Funko?
How simple they are.
Pop.
15 plus tax.
That seems a
wherever
lot. Yeah.
Yeah. They just went up $2 in the last 2 months.
They seem
like 13.
They seem a little more complicated than like an action figure. And I imagine wanting to spend somewhere between $4 to $5 for an action figure. So to have.
So you're thinking retro action figures?
Sure.
They action figures now range from $25 to $40.
Jesus.
Depending on the character. But those are the high end, like middle high end ones. If you're going like the retro, only have like 4 joints.
Mm-hmm.
Those ones are like 12.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone doesn't buy toys.
No, not anymore.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when I did, I used to pay $4 per action figure.
That's fair. But regardless, yes, they are overpriced.
Yeah. Not least of which, you can't. They're not action figures, right? Like they don't.
No, you don't take them out of the box.
Yeah, they're not articulable, so you're not pulling them out and like doing little fights and stuff with them with other people's action figures.
They are the equivalent of a bobblehead.
Yeah.
Or
and
like a troll doll, but a character you know.
I also did not understand bobbleheads either.
Since I make mine, I just feel they're very lazy. It's like if I wanted this character, I'd make one that looked like the character.
Yeah. I feel like Baubles and Funko Pop and a lot of stuff like that, they're meant to be like silly and chibi, and those things just don't appeal to me. They don't speak to me. What speaks to me is like maximalism and old antique stuff, like stuff you would find in a haunted mansion. That's
always fun and cool to have.
Yeah, I'd want to see stuff that looks like, weird fluted glass and death moths pinned in a framed underglass thing that's put up on a wall, and antique furniture with like lots of routing in the wood and fleur-de-lis and stuff like that. I like to see stuff that's like got a lot of texture and you like want to run your fingers over it because it's so like fascinating. I don't like flat plane surfaces that a lot of modern furniture has. It's just boring and utilitarian and shows that we've gone backwards in artistry.
Which is, I think, one reason because that furniture is very expensive to buy.
I mean, yeah, I don't have it. I don't have that furniture because it's expensive, but I want it.
I think I would want it too if I knew we wouldn't ever move because it's also very heavy.
Yeah.
We do have a couple things like that though in the house. Like we bought, I don't know what to call it. It's like a standing mirror, but it has a place to sit. So it's like a throne with a mirror to your back.
Okay. Yeah.
But it also has like a coat hanger on there. It's like a utility chair thing.
Interesting.
But it's very old. We have like a chest from I think the early 90s or 1800s. Someone custom made for us.
Nice.
Mullins. But yeah, I love engraving stuff. If it weren't so goddamn tedious and hard to do right,
yeah,
it would have been one of those things I taught myself how to do. It's also expensive to get wrong.
Yeah, that's true. So you better know what you're doing.
Yeah, like I've done some wood carving and like filigreeing of stuff, but it's easier just to buy it nowadays, like mass market, and that's not fun.
Yeah. Kit says, I'm a masochist, I guess. Oh, wait, we already read that one. My bad. Sam says, I've got you on full blast and can barely hear it on my monitor. It's slightly more prominent in my headphones. I will try to turn it up a wee bit more. Wait, it's doing it wrong. How do I... There we go. I will turn it up through the mix, so it is still not loud in my own ears, but it might be louder for you on stream. I cranked it up like, 10%. Not trying to blow out anybody's eardrums, but I'm trying to make it so you don't have to like blast your ears just to hear the backing stuff. The backing stuff should be there just as like white noise, but I don't want it to distract from our conversation. I can still get a Costco hot dog and a drink for $1.50 though. I've heard that is a maneuver by the Costco gurus though, in an attempt to sort of give back to the community something that feels like a slice of Americana that you can rely on. You see that $1.50 on the menu sign and you're like, oh, see times change, but this great deal never does. And so they now probably lose money on the exchange because the supply chains, changed quite a bit, probably especially since the tariff times started. But they earn so much in profits on other stuff that they're willing to make that concession at the concession stand, so that people have that feeling, that sense of enculturation about the food, which I totally get. I get taking a dip on some things if you know that you can afford to do it. It's its own kind of advertising in a way. I mean, they're not pulling out national ad spots on TV as far as I know, so it's like, what are they?
You did hear the story about that, right?
About what now?
The hot dog, why it's still $1.50.
I mean, I was just hypothesizing what I thought was the right answer.
There's actually a story behind this too.
Oh, go right ahead.
So, I believe the previous CEO, for the longest time, verbally and like physically threatened the new CEO that he would kill him if he changed the price.
That's amazing.
I think there's like shirts that like say, "I will kill you if you change the price," because of that.
I love that.
Let's see if I can get a better source than just my memory that's shoddy at best.
Costco does lose money on the hot dog. Board members wanted to raise the price, but CEO threatened death. Good. Serves them right for trying.
Yeah, the co-founder. Yeah, so it was one of the founders of Costco who threatened the CEO. He's like, "Yeah, I'll fucking kill you if you do that."
Nice. Yeah, I think there are all sorts of different ways to spend the money that would be used for ad revenue. And I feel like the money that they spend on the loss for the hot dog is one of those. It really is like a good faith. We want you to feel good about this particular food item. And so they're willing to take the cut on that. And it's just a way to pay for advertising. In its own kind of weird way. I would probably do the same thing, to be honest. Like, if I was running a business and things were working out really, really well for me, I'd be like, all right, how do we... I'm willing to take, a cut, or all the C-level execs take a cut on their pay if we can put some money in the customer's hands with this crazy good deal, or this special offer, or just something that differentiates you and makes you stand out from the masses in some really nice way. Ultimately, standing out is one of the best things you can do as far as ad campaigns go. It's really hard to stand out these days, to get attention, because everybody is vying for attention.
Especially with stuff like Amazon out there.
Yeah.
Like, you could just order food from Amazon.
Everything is so convenient now, and everything is so low priced. And most people provide pretty good customer service. So at that point, with your big idea, what are you doing? How are you really able to make it better than somebody else can? What possibly do you have to offer that somebody else hasn't thrown a whole shit ton of money into the problem and solved at a better level than you can? It's tricky. I know a lot of people that have entrepreneurial mindsets, but they haven't taken into account that the world is kind of like well sorted out. And because of that, what do you do? How do you survive? If everybody else who's got way more money than you and has had decades of experience, and not just that, but like tons of market research. They know their audience through big data, and you're just guessing. You're like, well, I really love this. I think other people will love it too. You have to have something really, really big and important in order to make proof of concept work against those big competitors. And that's why I'm here streaming. I'm just kidding. I don't know that I have necessarily anything that I can give that other content creators don't, except for my own brain and the weird way in which it works. Hopefully it's something novel.
I know it's not exclusive to you, but I do end up calling Haley D every now and then when she stops to check something out, and then we stop playing the game for like at least 10 minutes.
Why?
It's just funny because I always associate with you with a good conversation over the gameplay.
So when you have a good conversation with her, you naturally say D? Well, that makes me feel...
I'll go, okay, hey, you're turning into D. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, we just spent 20 minutes talking while the game was paused.
Good shit. I think that's probably one of the best things that she can cultivate as a streamer. And honestly, there are so many great streamers out there. Unless you know that you have some sort of game skill that other people don't, i.e. you play, like I'm thinking of Osprey, or Opry, who we've raided into a few times, who plays Castlevania 2 more than any other game ever. He knows more about Castlevania 2 than anybody I've ever met my entire life. So if you want to know the best Castlevania 2 player with the most knowledge about the game and watch somebody live stream so that you can learn everything you wanted to know about Castlevania 2, you go to that one streamer. But you wouldn't go to him necessarily for his personality. He has some, and he will stop and chat, and I think he has a good personality, but he hides behind the game a little bit too much. But unless you're there for a specific game, most of the time we're watching streamers, I think I speak for all of us, is that it's something about that person, not so much about like that they're the best at a specific game. With some exceptions, there are some people that it's just like what they do is a game or a set of games, or they're just really great at gaming, period. And so you watch them because they're the best sniper in like every first-person shooter that they would ever play, or they're just good at all retro games. So you see them holding an NES controller and you know it's going to be a good time, but you're not there for their personality so much. But more people, by and large, you'd want to be there for their personalities, that there's something about them that you resonate with and connect with the type of conversations that they have. And that's what I hope to achieve. I hope that's what Haley hopes to achieve as well.
Yeah. Mind you, it is said as a compliment when she does it.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you post here? Came to Senegal once and said...
This is just the quote I was given.
Oh, okay. Jim, we can't sell this hot dog for $1.50. We're losing our rear ends. Jelinek said... and he said, if you raise the effing hot dog, I will kill you. Figure it out. Nice. You can take cuts in something else, and I highly recommend, if you're really trying to build a brand off of something, pay less for your sea levels. Sea levels get paid way too much for the value that they rendered for a company. I can't think of a single... Every sea level whose salary I know, I think is not generating the ROI that you pay them for. I think it's a huge waste of money to even have that tier of management. Munir says, I'm back.
They did figure stuff out, apparently.
Huh?
They did figure it out.
Yeah, they did. I mean, even though even thought of what I had to offer as well, figured there wasn't a lot of wholesome content. Honestly, like, and I don't watch streamers for wholesome because I'm just not a wholesome person myself. So you're really the only wholesome person I know on stream in all of Twitch. I'm sure there are other people besides Gavin out there, but I advocate for Gavin because I think his content is, you know, the most family friendly of everything that I've ever seen in all of Twitch. Even though I don't look, and I just admitted that I don't really know any of your competition. But go follow Gavin. In fact, don't just follow, watch a shout out.
The drawer has been unlocked. What is in the box? Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
Nice. What a good clippable moment. I was watching Shroud play Dune when it came out. He's pretty good. So, an example of somebody who streams a game and it's more about the game than the person. Is that what you're saying? I also see, and I don't know how this happens, but I do see like there's some pretty high level or high engagement streamers out there who I feel like they're there for the personality because they're not really like great gamers. But I'm surprised that their personality pulls people. I guess they seem so normal. And maybe I just don't know normal people, so I don't understand why normal people want to watch these other normal people stream and talk about normal people things. But it's kind of crazy. Like sometimes I'll just sit on some, you know, some people streaming to 1,000 audience or whatever and listen to the conversation. And it's just so insipid, vapid, empty of meaning, truth, pushing boundaries, talking about anything controversial. It's really just very surfacey, parasocial. The only thing I can think of is that people are just really lonely and they want to listen to somebody talk online that is like them. Oh crap, that's me. I kicked. I didn't. Oh wow, that was super lucky. I don't know how I survived that one. This is all just chance. There's no deciding exactly what the right place is to stand. I just stand in one place out of superstition and see if it works, and it only works very rarely. But yeah, and maybe I'm not the streamer for normal people, and I think normal people only hang out here for a couple minutes, then they realize, this is definitely not the sort of level of conversation I wanted to have tonight. It's too deep, too controversial, or too it makes my brain work too hard, and then they go elsewhere. But I do hope that means that legacy-wise, I'm generating something that's going to last a whole heck of a lot longer than people that are just sitting there online pretending to be your friend and reading your chats with a enthusiastic voice, like, oh, it's so good to see you again. Oh, you said your hair looks really good today. Thank you. Oh yeah, I worked really hard on it. Like, just, bullshittery, empty conversations day in and day out. Hopefully I'm generating something more long-lasting than that, more providing more value for you than that. Was that a reference to this, Gavin? Oh, was it like a box empty thing? Okay, so I fixed Discord audio. I think the stream audio sounds a little bit more balanced. So thanks for helping me do the live production sort of thing. I'll probably just do a little bit of inventory housekeeping and call it, so that I have it's 2:24 a.m. I already streamed past the time I usually am supposed to go to bed on Wednesdays. I'm already failing at this. I'm really bad at giving myself sleep that I need to be a healthier human being. How do you human? I'm just not well practiced at this. Well, by the time I finish all this and go to sleep, I will get... What am I already getting? I have to be up at 6. So 3 to 6, 3.5 hours. I'm definitely getting less than 3.5 hours of sleep. So yeah, I'm really fucked for tomorrow. Even though I was like, oh, it's just gonna be a short stream. I'm gonna end soon, you guys. And I did, but I forgot how late I started. I forgot I started like an hour and a half late because the kiddos didn't go to bed until basically right when stream was gonna start. And I was like, I'm just gonna take a drive and like clear my mind before I actually start streaming. And I did, and I ended up staying out much longer than I expected. Just getting into conversations with some folks online and losing track of time, and honestly just happy to be out of the house since I'm a work from homer. Sometimes it's I spend too much time staring at the interior of my house and not going out and breathing fresh air. So I looked at the stream timer and it's still less than 3 hours, and I'm like, oh, I'm still really good. I really haven't wasted the whole night online streaming. And then I forgot just how bad I've wasted the whole night streaming.
Go get some sleep.
No, you.
I refuse. I have to do some art.
Yeah, well, you're just as bad as me then.
That's fair. That is fair.
No,
I don't have kids though.
I also don't think you usually regularly get 4 hours or less a night.
I probably get about 6. That is my usual. Like, it's reasonable.
I think that's what I'd like to shoot for. Something like 6. Yeah, sounds good. All right. let's get out of this game, get out of this stream, and bid you all a good night for one little sleep I'm gonna get tonight.
Bid you adieu?
Yeah. Wi-Fi is still acting up in the weakest spot in the place, but also the most comfy and don't want to move. I don't blame you there. You just need to get another router and set it as a repeater or something like that. Please take care of yourself. Well, it's not happening tonight, but I can't promise you I will, but I can promise you it's in my reticle. It's in my sights. I'm looking to take more care of myself. So even though I don't have like the full future stream schedule sorted out till, you know, I get some information about how some things are going to go for the rest of these next few months or the remainder of the year. Once I know, then you'll know, and we'll figure out something better than what I'm doing right now. If you don't, I'll personally spike your drinks with melatonin. That could be fun. Although I think if I fall asleep on stream, I could be, I can get strikes on my account.
Don't worry. I'll be here to call Oz to wake you up.
Okay. Good.
I'll give you like an hour of sleep. And then like, hey Oz, you need to go wake D up so he can end the stream, pretending he was awake the whole time.
I'm pretty sure that that's still going to be grounds for corrective action from the various streaming platforms that I'm on. Speaking of those streaming platforms, if you've been watching on Trovo, on Kick, or on YouTube, we're saying goodnight to you now. I will see you all again on Saturday when we will be streaming more My Friendly Neighborhood, which is surprisingly good. I really thought I was just going to be shooting puppets in a Doom clone sort of game, but with puppets. And it is actually much more nuanced. It's probably closer to a Resident Evil game in terms of complexity. So surprising.
I was watching a little bit of it and just like, what the fuck is going on every time I looked at it?
Yeah, it's really a lot more than I thought it was going to be, and I appreciate that. I thought it was just a silly game I got on summer sale for really cheap, and I was like, it's spoopy light, but it's actually much better than I expected. What happened? Jam, thanks for the biddies and for playing one of my favorite audio alerts. That's the
was that Oz?
That was the tiny when she was even tinier.
Sound like Oz almost.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, she had a hand in making these kids, so.
That's true. I don't usually see people using their hands to do that, but cool.
There's a just sleeping category. No, so Gavin, one, don't do it. Don't ever do it. The just sleeping category is there's a game called Just Sleeping or something like that, and people use it as a premise to sleep on stream, but you can get your account suspended or banned for sleeping on stream. Some people might get away with it if they're like making good money for the Twitch gods, but it is against TOS. I know it is. I know it is because I know somebody who used to regularly accidentally fall asleep on stream and got some corrective action on their account for doing so. Yeah. And yes, Sunday is going to be more Omori. We're not switching to spooky games for Sunday content because I really want to get through Omori. And I know we're starting Spooktober early, but Omori's just so good. I can't quit you. I thought you just kind of popped your kids out on your own. Yeah, they're just asexual spawns. I put spores in the air and they took to hosts. Yeah. I will never sleep on
Why
stream.
does that not sound that far-fetched?
All right, for everybody whose stream is ending tonight, Twitch, that's not you. Hang on, we're going to go find somebody to raid and run. But for everybody else, I will see you all on Saturday. I start all of my streams hopefully closer to 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific than I have been recently. I know tonight was a weird one, and we really should be on school sleep schedule, and we just freaking aren't because reasons. So I will see you all in a few days. Cyberstalk me in the meantime. Keep me busy and keep me occupied so I don't have existential crises when I'm left alone. And if you're safe, fed, and loved, make sure someone out there is too, please. See you soon.